Hi, I'm Andrew with Investors Hub, and today we're talking with Ted Ohashi. He writes the Cannabis Report for Investors Hub, and we'll be chatting with him about the cannabis industry. So the topics for today are some stocks that he thinks might be oversold in the cannabis industry. We're also going to discuss the possibility of a year-end rally for the cannabis industry, some of the effects of the Georgia runoff election, and finally, we're going to talk about one of the companies in his model portfolio, 1933 Industries. So today, December 29th, was the last day for tax loss selling here in the U.S. and Canada. What stocks in the cannabis industry do you think are oversold because of this?
Well, probably, for sure, the stocks that are down this year, it's difficult to say this one is and that one isn't. But for example, in our model portfolio, we have a company called I Am Cannabis and a company called Juicy. Both of those stocks are at record highs, or very close to. So they're not candidates to create losses by selling. But stocks that are down, and the ones that I can think of in the portfolio again would be Chiron or 1933 or companies of that sort, are candidates. And I follow the ones in the portfolio every day, and so I've seen pressure there. And so with the end of tax loss selling, that pressure will probably come off, and we'll see a move up, and we go into what everyone refers to as the year-end rally.
So speaking of year-end rally, do you think the cannabis industry is primed to have their year-end rally? Is Santa going to visit them too?
Yeah, I really think that will happen. For this reason, the major indexes, say the Dow or the Standard & Poor's in the U.S. or the Toronto Stock Exchange in Canada, are at or very close to all-time highs. The cannabis indexes are still, kind of between 30 and 60% below their all-time highs. And so the cannabis stocks right now are as if they were at bear market lows, whereas the blue chip stocks are as if they were at all-time highs. And so I think the potential, the risk reward is much better in the cannabis group.
So we've chatted about this before, and a lot is riding on the Georgia Senate election that happens on January 5th. So what direction do you think would be a win for the cannabis industry? And if there is a loss, how bad do you think it would be for the industry?
Yeah, well, as a single issue voter, I think that you would want the Democrats to win those two seats. That would give them 50 each. And because of the tiebreaker system, the vice president would vote, and obviously in favor of the Democrats. And that would allow the Democrats to do a number of things, but in particular for the cannabis industry, it would give them a much better chance to get new legislation through. So that's from a single issue point of view.
You mentioned that the stock you wanted to talk about this week was 1933 Industries. So tell me a little bit about them.
Okay, we talked about 1933 earlier. They're a relatively small U.S. operator, primarily in the state of Nevada. They are a grower. They are an extractor, and they distribute to other retail outlets. And so it's a company that's been a turnaround. Management was changed back in June. The new management came in, and now we're starting to see some of the results of that activity. They reported this morning, which was why I wanted to talk about it. They reported revenues that were up 13% in the current quarter over the previous quarter, which isn't great, but it's okay. But there were significant improvements on the expense side. And so expenses were down somewhere between 25 and 50%, depending on what you're looking at. So the company has come a long way toward their break-even point. Their burn rate was down again in that most recent quarter. And so what the company is doing is beginning to work, and we're seeing that in the financial reports. So I'm really quite optimistic about 1933, and it's one company that I think has been impacted by tax loss selling. So in the rally, I think it will contribute quite well.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel grow, and I'll see you again soon.